I made this channel in honor of me graduating high school. The channel is the only reason I made it through, so yeah. I really liked where I spawned. After a few minutes of trying to get off of the tree, I gave up and just took fall damage. I don't usually get this lucky. I like the vibrancy of the jungle, but it's even more of a plus when Minecraft just gives it to you for none of the work needed. I found a village, killed a horse, and then I went off looking for some sugarcane. I found some, but unfortunately I ran out of sprint, so I had to kill another animal, start getting some basic tools, craft a furnace, and get my food. After that, I boated all the way down to that island and snagged up the sugarcane. I figured since I'm here, I may as well raid that pirate ship, so I did. Found some buried treasure map and some diamonds. I went looking for that treasure and found absolutely nothing because I got scared and ran away. It got too dark for me. I stuck to the coastline to see what else I could find, and it's not like I could do much else aside from get blown up by a creeper on land, so I'd rather take my chances with any possible trident round. I thought I saw a monument in the distance, and as I got closer, I realized I totally have a monument, like 5 steps away from spawn. Nice. Turns out there were 2 monuments. Don't know what I'm gonna do with 2 monuments, but boy was I happy with this development. Turns out there was a 3rd one, but instead of going straight to it, I looked at some mountains. What am I supposed to do with 3 monuments? There were 2 villages right next to that 3rd monument, and I thought that was pretty cool. There was also a cool mountain that I definitely want to do something with. In the morning, I ended up running straight over to that village, and to my surprise, there was a cow pen. I was very happy with that because that means that I didn't have to put in any work to lure in cows. First things first, I need a carpet in order to properly jump over that fence. So I ended up exploring the village to see if any of them naturally spawned with any carpet. Turns out there was a 2nd cow farm right down in that valley. I broke some mystery grass in this villager's home and then ran away. I broke more mystery grass. After I found some carpet, I placed it on that fence and now I can jump over fences. I tried to clear out this water with some fences. After that, I mined down the roof because I thought it'd look cooler like this. I ended up making it more symmetrical along the center, and then I adjusted that up a little bit, stole a stair from my house, and now it's symmetrical. After that, I made the basics of my house. Placed down some chests, called it home. After finishing up my house, I wanted a book and quill, but for that, I needed to kill a squid. I made a waterfall down to the bottom of the cliff, but then forgot a boat. But it's okay, it was turning nighttime anyways, not like I could do anything. In the morning though, I forgot what I was doing and I went to go put away all my materials before I realized, oh wait, crap, I need that. I'm going squid hunting. And then I forgot a boat, because, oh crap, I forgot, I was going squid hunting. No thoughts, head empty. Found some squid, killed a squid, broke some more mystery grass, went up the waterfall. I looked into a chest wondering why it wasn't a crafting table, and then went into the crafting table. I marked down those coordinates. Once I was done, I ran around the farm and did absolutely nothing, until I had another brilliant idea. I stole some villager doors, and trapped them forever. You're not seeing repeat footage here, I promise these 2 houses are just the exact same house. You gotta believe me on this one, Chief. I didn't want any zombies killing these guys off, that would absolutely suck, and I'd have to transport them from other nearby villagers, and it would just been a whole mess. I didn't even bother with it. I figured as my first role as dictator, I should probably steal all of their doors, and then I forgot to steal all of their doors. So some of them still have their doors. Not for long, though. I looked at the pretty landscape and wanted to destroy something, so I destroyed the grass. The grass dropped me, so then I took it out on the garden, and then destroyed another garden. And I didn't stop. The only reason this final garden was spared is because it was getting dark outside and I'm scared of the dark. I failed my bucket clutch. That was funny. And then I decided to do another bucket clutch. I did it, but that doesn't negate the stupidity of that decision. And then I broke more shaved grass. I was careful towards the cliff because I didn't want a repeat of multiplied by death itself. And then I moved on to greater things. I started destroying the farm outside my house. Psych. I have a problem with running out of food. I replanted it and fixed it up to be more efficient. Here's a little bonus clip. I stared into a chest for 5 minutes, and the only thing I did was move fence gates down to the bottom. My mom would be so proud of me. Later, I was organizing my chests and moved the fences out of the valuables row and into the village row. I found another garden. If I have a track record for anything, it's destroying gardens. So I promptly started doing that. I realized that I needed dirt, so I ran back to my house, didn't go in my house, looked at the garden, looked at the ocean, wandered around for a little bit longer, went inside, look at the chest, do nothing. I crafted some bread. Instead of filling in that hole, I thought about feeding the cows, and then realized I made all of the wheat into bread. When I finally got dirt, I didn't even fill in the hole. I decided that the next best thing would be to get all of the villagers into one house. So I did. I shoved this man into the hole and used his code against him. I put a workbench at the end of the path, and so he made his way right over to it. Transporting villagers has never looked so easy. After getting the villagers and me stuck in here, I realized that I desperately needed a way out, so I mined through the roof. I finally got around to patching in that grass, and I got rid of many of the other gardens along the mountainside. There was one more villager that I needed to get in. I made a little path out of dirt so the villager would be able to make his way over. I plonked down that composter at the end, and moment of truth, he went! He got a little distracted. I had to help the little guy path to it. But either way, I could finally start making my overcomplicated mess of doom. Behold, did entrance and exit, and it doesn't even block out the baby zombies. Hopefully the torches will be enough. I scoured the village for some beds. Turns out there were literally none, so I had to find some sheep. Good news, I found some. Bad news, I had to lure them back home. After running home and grabbing some wheat, I realized there were sheep just along the mountainside. I didn't even have to lure them. I grabbed some blocks so I could trap them in forever, and saved a cat on my way over. I'm a hero. I breeded some sheep, built a wall, promptly jumped off of my wall, and failed my bread clutch. The next morning, I ate bread and broke my door. I can't remember why I did this, but I guess I didn't like the way it naturally spawned or something. Then I went to go shear those sheep. I wish the village made it easy on me from the start, just had enough beds, but that's fine, I guess. Lucky spawn is worth the slight wait for a villager breeder. I fail a lot of bucket clutches. After finally shearing all those sheep, I crafted some beds. I was very happy that I had enough beds for all the villagers. I wasn't even counting how much wool I was getting earlier, and I gave them all the minimum amount of breads that they needed to breed, and then realized they couldn't. I needed one more bed. I failed another bucket clutch, got inside, smacked that bed down, and got there just in time. At this point, I realized that I really wanted 5 villagers, so I went back to my sheep farm. At this point, I realized that pausing the game actually paused the game. I have a newfound love for single player. After placing down that bed in the breeder, I didn't even have enough bread to get them to breed. So, whoops. I looked around my area to look at all of the wheat. I only needed 9. But also, motivation's hard to come by these days. Instead, I opted to explore a little bit. I found a mystery shadow, broke a bush, it didn't go away. I placed a torch, it also didn't go away. I out of sight, out of minded my fears and breeded my cows, went to bed, woke up, and looked at the ocean, and found that there was a pretty sick river that led into the middle of the village. I made all of my bucket clutches all the way down this hill. I was very proud of myself. I found a water source that I wanted to unalive, so I had to mine a piece of dirt that wouldn't look too weird if it was gone. I broke some more bad grass and then started breaking down the house, starting with the windows, the roof, the walls, the floor. House gone. I broke some more bad grass and then my dad called me, so I lost a few days to that. As soon as I got back from the call, I slammed the door in my face. Once I got back to the village, I wanted to start making a plan for the villager trading hall, so I opened MS Paint. Obviously, what else are you meant to do? I started marking which parts I wanted where, and then ended up making an arch. There's my arch progress. I started on the walls, found the center of the building, and then failed my bucket clutch. I mined out the area, keeping it 5 by 5. I made one side of the wall, made the other side of the wall, and then decided, hey, do you want to be a good use of my time? Waterfall. I filled another bucket clutch and went on to my other world to check out how many villagers I really needed in order to have access to all of the main enchantments. All of these enchantments were not including a trident because on this world I had not gotten one yet. After counting, I realized there were 17 main enchantments, not including the trident ones. I kept working on the villager trading hall and ended up punching my way into the river cave. It was pretty cool. I splashed around in there for a little bit and had a good time. I trapped one unsuspecting villager into a corner and I was gonna make this guy the first test subject, and I hope he has a good book. It's Unbreaking 3. The one thing I did not have on that other world was Unbreaking 3. I had to use Unbreaking 2, combine it in the anvil, and cry. I failed a few more bucket clutches on the way down because I was in such a rush, but that does not matter. I needed to lock in this trade, quite desperately. After I did, I stepped away from my computer for a solid 2 seconds. I ended up trapping the guy in and putting a slab above his head so monsters couldn't detect him. I ran around the garden, mined it, made some more bread for absolutely no reason. Oh, I have enough wheat to breed my cows. I gave them a torch, not on purpose. And then I sheared the wood. Done. We're done. Hey, thanks for watching. I don't know how to do this quite yet. Yeah. According to YouTube statistics, none of you are subscribed. Ow. Row and into the chest. After placing down that bread in the... I broke a leaf.